about what that could look like, and I would anticipate that you'll see countries coming together in support of this basic approach. The G7 countries just put out a statement, but it's so critical, I think, that this process be led by countries in the region in support of the Syrian people, because ultimately this has to be a Syrian-led process.
Do you know what that could look like, though?
Stay tuned in the days ahead as we continue to work on this. In terms of an American citizen who was found just today, I can't give you any details on exactly what's going to happen, except to say that we're working to bring him home, to bring him out of Syria and to bring him home. But for privacy reasons, I can't share any more detail than that at this point.
Any update on Austin Tice?
No update on Austin Tice, except to say that every single day we are working to find him and to bring him home, making sure that the word is out to everyone that this is a priority for the United States.
Mr. Secretary, thanks for doing this. Are you concerned at all about Israel's widespread airstrikes across Syria and also their maneuvers inside this buffer zone that have created some anger in the Arab world among U.S. partners? And secondly, I'm wondering what your message will be to Erdogan when it comes to U.S.-backed Kurdish forces who have lost territory in Syria against other militias.
Well, first, when it comes to the buffer zone that came from the 1974 ceasefire agreement, what Israel has said is that the Syrian forces that were on one side of that buffer zone abandoned the area. And Israel is concerned that that vacuum could be filled by terrorists, by extremists, and so it moved forces into the buffer zone. And it's told us and told others that that's a temporary move, just to ensure, again, that this vacuum isn't filled by something bad. When it comes to actions that Israel has taken, the stated purpose of those actions from the Israelis is to try to make sure that equipment that's been abandoned, military equipment that's been abandoned by the Syrian army, doesn't fall into the wrong hands, terrorists, extremists, etc. But we'll be talking, and we're already talking to Israel, we're all talking to others about the way ahead. And when it comes to Turkey, and
sorry, just on Israel, do you support their moves? I mean, they've basically destroyed the entire Navy. They've gone after a lot of state assets, and I think a lot of people understand that desire. But there's obviously people are wondering whether this is kind of overkill to some degree in terms of taking out, say, the entire Navy.
Again, the Israelis have been clear about what they're doing and why they're doing it. I think across the board, when it comes to any actors who have real interests in Syria, it's also really important at this time that we all try to make sure that we're not sparking any additional conflicts. That's also an important objective and goal. And when it comes to what's happening in the Northeast, look, Turkey has real and clear interest, particularly when it comes to the PKK and terrorism, which is an enduring threat to Turkey. At the same time, again, we want to avoid sparking any kinds of additional conflicts inside of Syria at a time when we want to see this transition to an interim government and to a better way forward for Syria. And part of that also has to be ensuring that ISIS doesn't rear its ugly head again. And critical to making sure that doesn't happen is the so-called SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces, that we've been supporting. They've been critical in making sure that ISIS is kept at bay. Critical also to guarding the detention facilities where thousands of foreign terrorist fighters have been detained for years, keeping them off of the battlefield, keeping them away from rejoining ISIS. That's a critical mission, and it's one that we have to see be pursued going forward.
And will that be the message to Erdogan?
Well, it's certainly one of the things that we'll be discussing, but again, all of these conversations are looking to bring all the countries in the region together, as well as beyond the region, in a unified approach to supporting the Syrian people as they emerge from this dictatorship. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
me turn the light on. Yeah, this is outside. Sorry, I'm the wing side. Sorry.